Did you watch the Derby?
No,
No.
it was my buddy's diaper party last night, so my throat is a little rough.
The fuck's a diaper? Pardon my French. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. What is a diaper party?
It's when your buddy's having a kid,
Yeah.
and he throws a party, and everyone brings baby diapers.
Huh.
So they throw a party, and he gets
It's like a baby shower, but for men.
yeah, you get like
It's like we're not picking out outfits. We're just gonna bring diapers.
just bringing diapers.
Yeah. Huh.
And you get drunk and drop off your diapers. I think you end up getting like over 1,000 diapers, so they should be fine for a while.
That's a lot of diapers.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day. Speaking of diapers.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to moms. Moms everywhere.
All the moms.
And, like people that have moms. Happy Mother's Day to you too.
Yep.
People that had moms. Anybody that knows a mom. Happy Mother's Day.
We used to do a thing at the distillery, and it got a little awkward. But it was like, hey, are you a mother? And be like, because we were gonna give all moms like a free drink. Yeah, that's a weird thing to ask women, because like some of them aren't, and it was so it's like Mother's Day can be a little touchy too, I think.
I don't know if you have to be a mom or not, but I know the Laurentide is doing, if you buy a bottle of I believe it's Anthony Road Rosé, that you get flowers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I'll tell you what, have you been over there lately?
No.
I swung by last night and it's looking awesome. They got Timmy G's, the former Timmy G's, that will be, I don't know if they're gonna like have a different name for it, or if it's just gonna be the Laurentide, or if it's, I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Yep.
But naming wise, or if it anyways, you know what I did? It's just been looking at me this whole time. That feels awkward. And you know why? It's because I turned off the automatic. There we go. All right. Now it won't just be me anymore.
I liked it. I didn't feel as much pressure.
So what? I went there last week. I was walking by last week, and I was like, I sent Marla a text. I said, "It looks real cool. Looks tactical."
Oh my God, what you have to say to that?
Because the whole thing was like blacked out with that like matte black color. It's like, that looks cool. But now they're starting to get some like wood features and stuff on it, so it looks really nice. You can kind of peek in the window, and they got like a nice new bar. The kitchen's looking good. Like things are getting ready to go. And I don't know an exact date yet, but I'm anticipating within the next couple of weeks they'll be live.
Whoa, that soon?
I think so. Yeah, I mean they've been cooking over there. I gotta tell you, they've really done a good job. I don't know if you've been in that building much.
Just once.
But it's got like the basement's really nice.
Oh, I didn't go down the basement.
The basement's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it's like full size, like full height concrete basement. It's nice. And man, the kitchen's looking good. They've got a window that the servers can come up and bring food out back too, so that'll be cool.
Have they advertised much on it about what it is to everyone? And
I don't think so. I think it's one of those where, you know how they are, and how a lot of the businesses now, like they just kind of, I don't know what they're gonna do. I've no idea what they're gonna do, but a lot of times all you have to do is open.
Yeah.
And then people find out about it, and
this area is begging for more and more. I mean,
they are.
I don't think you can have too many food places in Pinyon. Every place is always slammed. Doesn't matter.
There's a time when it slows down. But
winter, yeah.
Yeah. But this time of year, every place I've been, there's been a wait,
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So it's good.
What was it? Last summer? There was you couldn't even get in the Laurentide sometimes.
Yeah.
It was like, you couldn't even get in to have a beer. That's slammed.
It's insane.
That's wild.
Whenever they'd have during the wintertime even. Like in the fall, if it was bad weather and they had the doors closed.
Yep.
It's like, good luck.
I'm excited for them to do another comedy show. I'd like, now that it's warm out, to do it outside.
Yes.
You could really pack people in.
Yes. I haven't heard anything about Marla, when's the next comedy show?
Those things are so fun.
Shoot me a text. We'll get tickets today.
We don't have anything like that around here.
No. I heard that Baked and Loaded was bringing in comedy occasionally.
Really?
I know I saw at least one comedy night advertised there.
Whoa.
So that should be interesting.
I wonder, you ever seen anyone do like amateur night?
Amateur like open mic
comedy? Yeah, open mic where they let like anyone come up and do it. It's a little rough. It's like pretty cringy, but every once in a while somebody will go up there and
some of the stuff that, like, I can just imagine some of the stuff people would say though,
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Like, if I ever happen upon one of those, I don't know, I'm working up a bit about people that bring a wagon to the grocery store.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna rough do it right now?
Well, no. But like everybody, like you see people show up to the grocery store with a wagon.
Yeah.
And like you got to think, like most people just like walk past that person, but if you ever just like stop and think like how that person got to that point in their life, like what exactly is happening? Why? How did they get there?
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Like, was it a DWI?
Have you seen people do it? Really, a lot?
Oh yeah,
really.
And now they get the fold up wagons too now. Like it used to be like a wagon, like a radio flyer.
Okay.
But now it's like they've got like fold up canvas wagons.
Wow.
That people bring to the grocery store.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I guess if it's not something that everybody's experienced, then it wouldn't be as funny.
It's kind of funny though, because you can imagine.
Can imagine.
During COVID, I walked into Walmart and a guy had a pair of panties for his mask over his face, and I just looked at Mary.
It has to be fabric, and it has to cover your mouth and nose.
Yep, that's exactly what it did. And I looked at Mary, and Mary's like, "Well, that's pretty inventive." I go, "Yeah, I guess so."
It was
like a thong
over the top.
It was like, like the base part here, here, and then it like went up.
So you had to go right between his eyes,
right between his eyes, over his freaking head. And I'm like, what in the hell am I witnessing? Yeah. So there you go. Now that's either a person that mentally is not all there, or he thought he was going to be hilarious. So I'm thinking it was the latter.
Probably. Yes. Yeah. For sure.
Crazy. Yeah.
I've been playing with some big tools lately up at the campground.
Okay.
Been getting work up there, and some of it you do with like the little hand saws. Those things are impressive, by the way. Just like the little like folding like like the pruning saws.
Yeah,
those things will rip.
Yeah,
and they're like $12, and you just rip through everything with those. They're awesome. But I got our tractor up there, pushed over some trees, some dead trees, folks. Pushed over some dead trees to build a little trail over to this like really cool overlook. You can see preemption line marker from the top of the ravine, from like just next to the campground.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think we should all just go down and protest and tie ourselves to dead trees so Phil can't kill the trees. If anyone wants to meet me to stop Phil with the dead trees.
Stop me from killing dead trees. They must remain vertical.
What do people, you ever seen those? Where those people, they'll seriously like tie themselves
to a tree
or building or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if people respect your life enough to not do it still.
It's true.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if you strapped yourself to the wrong side of the tree and they didn't know you were there?
They didn't see you.
It's just like, I think there's a better way to do this.
Wait.
It's like, what are you going to do? You're done. So,
oh man.
Yeah, not good.
No.
Yep. So there was actually not too long ago, there was a big protest about people trying to fight for historic houses in this area to not be demolished.
Was that over in Dresden?
I think I heard one there. There was one over down toward Watkins Glen. That was the big one that I heard.
Yeah.
People were really, I don't know, just like upset saying it's been there forever. Like we shouldn't see history go and stuff like that. And yeah, I can kind of see it, but at the same time, it's like, I guess things have to keep moving, right?
Right.
I mean, where's the line between like this is history and you keep it and progress?
Well, here's the line. Okay, I've got a response for this. Not to like
No,
but I've got a response to this, and this, if you are one of those people, raise the money,
right?
Shore it up, like restore the building, or at least like come up with all the money that's necessary to stabilize it, buy it, whatever.
Yep.
Like, and if you're not willing to do that, sorry,
right?
Like, you're, like somebody, it's either going to kill somebody from, like, they're going to climb in and fall through the floor.
Yep.
Or, as you know, as a code officer. And so, like, some of these buildings could kill somebody. So it's like, you know what? You either, if you really care about it and you really think it's part of our history, don't let it rot.
Right.
Don't let it rot. And if you let it rot for 60 years, for your entire lifetime, and then you go protest demolishing it, sorry, like, you,
right,
like, unless you're going to take over the responsibility, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's a good point. If you can't, I was always leaning toward more like there is, like, we already have things in motion to protect historic buildings and landmarks and sites. So it's like, if it's not being protected, is it really?
Well, and there's also, so I know a little bit firsthand that there's also an evaluation that determines whether or not something is in fact historical.
Yeah.
Old is not equal historic. And so there's a process that you go through to figure out whether something is historic or not.
So historic, does it have to have like a story with it? Is that what it is? It's not age. It's like,
it's typically that it's got something unique about it.
Unique. Okay.
Whether it's a unique history, like something that was done there that was like incredibly unique.
Yep.
Or if it's like, especially like a unique architectural style that, like, if it's the only house left that still has such and such whatever, like, then that would be worth preserving. As far as, I'm not saying that everything isn't, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, that's how they determine whether something is technically historic. I mean, I'm sure several other criterion, but it's those kinds of things.
Yeah. Well,
like the Samson Theater. What I didn't know about that, the one thing that's kind of interesting is, you notice when you look at the outside of it, that it's kind of like it looks like it's melting.
You can, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Like, I don't know a better way to describe it, but that's like,
reminds me of some Ghostbuster stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely store some ghosts in that place.
You sure could.
And like an old ambulance. Some ectoplasm.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, that place, it's a unique architectural style.
Yeah.
Like, it's I don't know how many buildings there are that style. I don't know if it was like the first of that style, or if it was, one of the early ones of that style, or I don't know all the details, but
yeah.
Something about how they did that was historical.
That was a heck of a community effort. The Samson Theater. People fought for that hard. I mean, there's a lot of people that really...
They still are.
Raised money.
It's not ready yet.
I know, but I'm just saying, but there's been a lot, like, for years. People have been fighting for that.
And they need a lot more money to make it happen.
Yeah. I wonder, hopefully when it's done, there's been a couple people that have really worked their ass off for that, and hopefully there's some sort of recognition. Maybe they don't want the recognition.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's hard to... I've learned through time that it's usually the people that are doing the most that really don't want any recognition.
Yeah. As you learned last week, right?
Yeah.
How many submissions did you get?
A good number.
Good number.
Probably at least, I don't know, there were like 15 or 20. I'm still working on getting the prizes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we had about 15 or 20 submissions, and that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And I had people say to me that, like, they sent in 2, and they were like, "Oh, well," and they didn't win. They sent in 2 and they didn't win. They were like, "Oh, well, I didn't want to like win all the prizes." Like, well, you. The point is, like, you're supposed to be stirring up interest.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, post every day. You know,
it's part of it.
and I'm looking at how we can. It'll change up a little bit from what we did last month, but I'm trying to figure out ways to carry that forward into the future and beyond Yates County. So, just encourage people to get involved and stay involved, and even the little things. I tell you what, I had some rage on Friday. Internal rage. It was
I
an
was like, you
internal rage.
raged?
No, I kept it inside.
Oh, good.
But I wanted to Donkey Kong this guy, just like boo, 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 boo. Like. Anyway,
what did he do?
Just like he had a piece of plastic,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked at it, and he walked across the sidewalk over to the street and threw it under a car.
Why?
I don't know.
What the hell? That is so random.
What? Yeah. I
Okay.
wanted to say, "Excuse me, sir." I didn't want to say that. I wanted to say, "How about you pick that up?"
Yeah. You didn't?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't. I should have.
Well, sometimes
I should have said something.
Sometimes.
What I should have done is gone over and picked it up. I should have got under the car, picked it up, handed it to him, and said, "Excuse me, sir, you dropped this."
That would have been pretty funny. Yeah. But I understand at the same time, it's like, is that going to lead to a huge conflict? Like somebody. So it's one of those situations where you try to hold people accountable, but it's like, where.
I'm just saying, the guy was like 60 or 70. You're 60 or 70. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Grow up. It's time. It's time to grow up.
We're done. Seriously.
Be a big boy. Put the trash. Your generation, by the way.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Destroyed this earth. So just stop it. Stop it.
That's crazy. I don't know how many times I've come home with just like trash, things that most people might have thrown on the ground that I just stick in my pockets. Like, I'll just
it's not that hard.
I'll like come home, like empty my pocket in the garbage. It's like, what the hell? Why do I have so much stuff in my pocket?
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
It's not.
I like every time I go out, it takes like 45 minutes to fill up a whole trash bag just from walking around on the sidewalk.
What's the fine for littering?
I don't think there is one.
Is there not?
Well, I think New York State has one. I don't think Penn Yan or Yates County has anything.
They've
got one against smoking anywhere on public property, which blows my mind. Like you can't have, you can't vape when you walk past the county building, but you can like throw it on the ground.
There's got to be some. Have you ever seen some of those signs? It's like, I can't remember if I was in Canada or if it was another state, but it's like littering like $500, and then like if you're caught twice, it's $1,000. That's like, damn, that should stop some littering. You get hit in the pocketbook like that, you're not gonna freaking like it. So
I'd like to assume the best.
Yeah.
And at least that education, which there isn't really much right now. Like it's kind of faded away. There used to be education.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's really not that much education about littering, and just reducing the barriers. Like if people see that there's a trash can right over there, they're probably more likely to like wait 4 steps and put it in the trash can. I know that everybody isn't going to make it to the trash can.
Right.
But the same thing, like somebody might pick up that litter and put it in the trash can if they see one, but they're probably not going to put it in their pocket and carry it around.
Right. Yeah.
So like those kinds of things, I think I'd rather put effort into that than chasing people around, punishing them.
Well, sometimes a hit to the pocketbook will change people's mind. So, yeah, it's just I was driving down 14. So all the towns have a cleanup day coming up. Most of the towns do. The town of Milo has a cleanup day, which means if you're a town of Milo resident, you can bring any trash up to the town of Milo and they'll discard for you. No cost or anything like that. So it's a good time to, if you have trash laying around and you want to clean it up. Town of Barrington has theirs coming up in 2-3 weeks.
Do you know when those are?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know that they're coming up. So
they come up all the time.
As long as
around springtime usually.
It's always it's spring cleanup.
Spring cleanup.
As long as you're a resident of the town,
yeah,
you're more than welcome to drop some off. I don't know how many times you can come. I know there's a limit.
Really?
Of how many times, because the town's got to pay so much and can only get so many people in a day. So.
Well, let's have a look at Milo. Village of Penyan, Town of Milo cleanup day is yesterday.
Shit. I'm a day late. Sorry, guys.
From 8 to 2. Well, let's see how it works, though. So it's at the wastewater treatment plant out at the edge of town. They've got contact information. They'll take rubbish. Ooh, sorry. Rubbish, scrap metal, wood furniture, dried paint cans, empty propane tanks. They won't take undried paint cans, which is that's an interesting thing. It has to be dried. And
you can see they do charge for some things, things that cost them a lot of money to get rid of.
So they'll charge you for TVs, computer monitors, tires.
But other than that, everything else is just they'll take.
They won't take oil or oil cans, pesticides, liquids, wet paint. Freon appliances, burn barrels, plastic barrels, or bagged garbage. Super single tires or ag tires. What's a super single tire?
No clue.
Is that like what they have on tractor trailers?
No clue. Is
that what I should have on my truck? Oh, look at that thing. That is wide.
Yeah, that's a big tire.
Wide.
$1,500 for one.
This one, it's $1,700 for one tire.
Yeah.
Whoo. What are those for? What's a super single tire?
It's F450.
F450, F550, Dodge Ram. It's
monsters.
It's the hat. What is that?
No, that's
those are like 5 ton.
Yeah.
10 ton. I don't know.
Those are big trucks.
They're big trucks.
Those are your town trucks that you see driving around.
Why super single tires are a dangerous cut corner in the trucking industry.
Oh God, what are we getting down here?
Oh, okay. So it's like where you're supposed to have 2 tires, and then you just get one big wide tire instead of dual. Yeah, interesting. Well, it's no wonder they're so wide. That seems very dangerous.
Yeah, I think I'd want 2.
I'd want 2 next to each other. Yeah,
I think so.
One of them blows. The only thing I don't like about that though, I don't want a tractor trailer to flip over or whatever the hell happens when they blow a tire, if it's a super single. But when they've got these tires where it's 2 of them next to each other and they just keep driving.
Yeah.
One of them just shreds into a million pieces and they just keep going. And
do you think they even notice when they're in that truck?
I don't know.
I wonder, because so loud in there.
If you're a trucker, let us know.
Yeah, if you would know.
Let us know if you notice when you just demolish a tire. Let us know.
When those things pop when they're on the freeway, that scares the hell out of me anytime.
You don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Do not want to be anywhere near that. Let's see. There's got to be one coming up though.
Yeah, Barrington.
Town of Barrington.
I don't know if we have it on our website yet or not.
Well, that's horseshit. Townofbarrington.org. Come on, Barrington. Just kidding. It's not. I'm just kidding. I'm coming at you.
Yeah, I don't.
Is this your email?
Yes. Yeah, that's my email there.
Jesse Jane. He's on there.
Maybe it's on the front page.
New permit fees.
We're kind of old school. We send out letters to everyone. So every person that owns property in town of Barrington gets a letter.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Instead of probably posting it. Yeah, we must not have it posted.
I'd like both. I think
both would be nice.
Both.
Yeah, but you can guarantee if you're sending a letter, everyone's
gonna throw it away.
Yeah, but they've seen it. It's everyone had a chance to look at it. Because we have a lot of Mennonites in our community.
Yeah. So no, you need to be able to.
We do a lot of stuff with the newspaper and sending out letters. Every time there's a variance, I have to send out, probably 13 letters to all the neighboring houses.
So all the houses that surround it?
Yeah.
Is it just the direct next door neighbor, or is it is there a radius?
I'm not sure what state law is, but our law is any house within 500 feet.
Oh, well, that makes, I like that. That
property
makes sense.
line.
Yeah.
So, but some, like a Mennonite property, will have, if they have 200 acres of land, I have to send 500 feet within every edge of that 200 acres.
Oh, so that could really add up.
Oh, I've done
that
like
could
40,
really add up.
40, 30, 43 letters, I think. 42 letters is the record. That's a lot. Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder what this is.
Hey, their public hearings are a good time, 6 o'clock. Oh, their ZBA meets.
Well, it's right at the beginning of their board meetings. What is this? I don't know about this. Okay, well, let's just take a look at what's happening in the village of Penn Yan real quick, since we're here. There are some public hearings coming up on May 17th at 6 o'clock p.m. 6:05 p.m. We're talking about, we got 2 public hearings.
I wonder what these are.
And let's see what they are. So we've got 1, amendment of the local law providing for the administration and enforcement of the New York State Uniform Fire Prevention and Building Code and the State Energy Conservation Construction Code. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing, yada, yada, yada. The village hall is in compliance with accessibility. Okay, what am I looking at?
A copy of the proposed.
Here we go. Local law filing.
This is going to be long, Phil.
No, it's not.
It's 35 pages.
Sure, title long. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm just going to look at provision.
No, but I'm telling you, it's going to be long because you're looking at the Uniform Building Code right now.
Purpose and intent. Okay, here we go. So the local law is adopted pursuant. All building structures and premises, regardless, are subject. What the hell?
I'm telling you,
you're right.
I read this all the time. This is what I do for a living.
So where should I skip to?
You'll just, all this will be definitions, and it'll go down to
officer and inspectors.
It'll go down to laws and stuff like that after you get past all this.
Building permits. Oh, so it's not even going to tell me what the change is?
It doesn't look like that. Or maybe this was never
stop work orders
authorized through the village, and now they're reauthorizing.
They're reauthoring it.
Yeah. So because this is right out of the book, I know all this stuff.
You don't think there's a change? You think it's just?
I couldn't tell you, man. I'm shocked that it doesn't say what they're changing up there or what they're doing with it, because this is just the laws.
Yeah, this is.
And that's not even laws as much as this is like giving a lot of definitions and, the job of a code officer.
Do you think it's maybe just expanding?
Yeah, maybe they don't have all this part of their code and they're just trying to adopt this. So, but this is straight out of the state book. So.
Violations.
$250 a day if you violate.
Intermunicipal agreements.
Yeah, that means when, if you're ever on vacation, you got to have an agreement with another code officer that they can do your job for you.
Well, that was not enlightening.
Your best thing would be here is where it would say exactly what they're doing. The purpose of
providing for administration and enforcement of the uniform codes.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're saying I could have gotten away with it this whole time?
Well, no, because that was more or less what what the code officer does, the fines and everything, and that doesn't really give many laws. So, yeah. So this is
okay. All right, let's see the other one. Public hearing number 2. The purpose, proposed local law to create a tree board and adopt public tree regulations.
I'm telling them about Phil and his dead trees.
Tell them. I'm gonna go tell them about dead trees.
Tree
board.
What are we looking at?
They're gonna have a tree board to adopt regulations pertaining to public trees.
What's not public trees?
So the public trees are the ones that are planted and maintained by the village, which are essentially the ones on the curb.
Okay.
Or potentially, maybe it would include the ones at parks and things like that. But I would say ones on either public property or the ones that are on the curb. I know when you look at the sidewalk code that there's a lot of mention of public trees, because if a public tree damages your sidewalk, hey, Penn Yan residents, if you are a Penn Yan resident and a village tree has damaged your sidewalk, you can go to the Village of Penn Yan website, villageofpennyan.com, and search for a application to have the village replace or repair that section of your sidewalk at no cost.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
They're responsible. If their tree damages your sidewalk, they're responsible for fixing it. Otherwise, you're responsible for it, but there is a cost share. So if you have other parts of your sidewalk, or if your sidewalk was not damaged by a public tree, $6 per square foot. So that's a little bit of an investment, but
so you have to pay the village $6 per square foot?
They will replace your sidewalk for $6 per square foot. You pay them.
Yeah.
$6 per square foot.
Now in Dundee, I believe it's up to you have to like maintain your sidewalk legally.
Here too. Yeah. So that's Penn Yan. You're responsible for it, but they've got like a
they'll
program.
Help.
They'll come do it for you. You just have to pay them.
Yeah.
You could also pay a contractor.
That's why it's done.
It just has to be done to their specifications.
Right.
But they'll do it for you for $6 a square foot.
Gotcha. Well, that's a lot cheaper than paying someone to do it. That's for damn sure.
There's the thing that is kind of crazy is that if your sidewalk's in bad condition and it gets reported, then there's fines if you don't fix it. Which I don't know.
Yeah, there's fines for if you don't shovel your sidewalk. Yeah, they got all those things.
Adopt tree. Wow, that is a public trees.
I've never heard of public trees. This is crazy.
Public trees.
We definitely don't have this in our code. There's no public trees in Barrington.
Oh, you bet there are.
They're all private trees. No public ones.
I'll be on the committee if they let me push over the dead ones with a tractor. Adjacent property owner, alter, arborist.
I would love to say I'm an arborist because everyone would be like, okay.
Park trees are here and defined as trees found in parks, playgrounds, and all areas owned by the village, which the public has free access, including cemeteries. Let's see. Public tree. Here's a public tree. If you want to know, a tree or shrub or on publicly owned land or within the right of way of a public street. So those are the ones on the curb.
Within the right of way. I wonder what the right of way is. Opinion. I wonder how much the village really owns from the center line.
That's a good question.
It's 25 feet.
Right of way.
In most places.
The land encompassing a public street, road, or highway maintained by the village, including lands bordering the pavement and shoulders that are part of the area legally controlled by the village, and specific laws relating to such distances.
Whoa, they're saying how you can plant your trees. There's laws on that?
In that area, in that space.
In their space.
Yep,
okay.
In that space, yeah.
35 feet for large trees. That's a heck of a space, dude.
No, big trees need big space. Spray. They have definitions for all these things. Stumps.
Tree lawn.
All stumps shall be removed to at least 6 inches below the surface. Tree lawn. A green space adjacent to the street or highway not covered by sidewalks or other paving, laying between the property line and the portion of the street, yada, yada, yada. I wonder, okay, tree board. Here we go, tree board. We're in a rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, yeah, this is what happens.
Each member shall be appointed by the mayor, subject to approval by the board of trustees. There'll be 5 members who shall be residents of the village or village employees. Members shall be appointed for a term of 3 years, except for initial members who shall terms as follows. Ooh, can we make an amendment to
who shall serve?
Can we add the word serve? Terms as follows. Under 2, on page 6. Gary?
Hopefully somebody will pick it up at the meeting.
1 member for a term of 1 year, 2 members for a term of 2 years, and 2 for a term of 3 years. In the event that a board member does not serve the full term for any reason, the mayor shall appoint a successor to serve for the duration of the unexpired term. Tree board duties include, but not limited to, studying, investigating, developing, updating the village's written plan for caring, preserving, pruning, topping, replanting, removing, or disposing of trees and shrubs in parks along village streets and other public areas.
Oh, so they're actually going to help remove the trees? Is that?
Yeah, they have to.
Really?
It's their tree. If it's a bad tree, they got to remove it.
No, I meant the board, because it says like removing or disposing of trees. So the board is going to be a part of that?
Investigating, developing, or updating the plan.
Written plan for those. Okay, they're not actually part of it.
Adhering to the provisions outlined in the comprehensive master plan and addressing those key areas within the village. I'll tell you what, trees have become a big issue in my hometown, Canisteo, because they planted a bunch of trees way back when it was still like horses and buggies.
Oh boy. Okay.
And so they're having to replace them with trees that don't need to, like, they're redoing. Yeah, they got like $8 million for this tiny little town to redo like the traffic patterns in downtown.
Really?
Which is like 4 blocks.
Huh. Okay.
Tiny blocks. Interesting stuff. Maintaining reference materials relating to trees and shrubs, providing an inventory of the location of street trees, and determining areas where such trees could exist but are absent. Oh, this is...
Yeah, it gets crazy. You got 13 pages.
That's insane. Meetings, they meet twice a year or more, as determined by the tree board. Could you imagine having that on your resume? Yes, I'm a member of the tree board. The Penny and Tree Board.
For the county, it
would be a great conversation starter.
Being on the tree board?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a part of a committee that meets once a year as well. Like, that's shocking. I'm like used to committees that meet, once a month. And just to meet once a year, you're like, hey, nice to see you. I won't see you again for another year. It's like,
see you next year.
Yeah.
Look at this. So they have to meet twice a year or more. If a board member, and they have a 3-year term, right? They meet twice a year and they have a 3-year term. If they miss 6 consecutive meetings, that'll be all of them for their entire term, by the way. The position shall be deemed vacant and a new one appointed. Okay. Unless they meet more than twice a year. Right? That's interesting.
Yeah. That's a good law to have, though.
What?
Like,
to have a tree board?
No, to like hold people accountable for being on these boards and not showing up.
Yeah, I think most organizations have something that allows that. I don't know about like all the little village committees and stuff like that, but most, I don't know. I deal more with nonprofits, and when I look at bylaws, pretty much every set of bylaws has a provision for removing somebody from the board if they're not participating.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I'll have to check our code, see if it says that.
It's a little bit different when you're talking about elected positions.
Yeah, elected, you can't do a damn thing. You can't get rid of an elected person. That's like, good luck.
You can impeach them, right?
Can try. As we've seen with the Trump thing, it doesn't happen very easy. Can't happen.
Oh, here's where it gets interesting. Trees on private property. So let's look at this real quick. So no property owner shall be permitted to allow a tree, shrub, or other plant growing on his or her property to obstruct or interfere with the view of drivers or vehicles or pedestrians on the sidewalk to create a hazard. If such tree, shrub, or other plant does overhang or does otherwise adversely affect any street, sidewalk, or right-of-way within the village, the property owner shall, at the owner's expense, prune the tree, shrub, or plant. Yada, yada, yada. If the owner must trim a tree, shrub, or plant, the owner must provide for a clear space of 8 feet above the surface of the sidewalk and 14 feet above the road surface. I like that to some degree because I can't tell you how many times I've been smashed in the face by like tree limbs while I'm walking down the sidewalk.
I've always thought that was part of the experience of walking. It's like if you're not dodging tree limbs, are you walking? So, yeah, I can't believe how well maintained your freaking outlet trail is. Like that's just a clean walk. It's just like no trees ever hit me in the face. I'm living the best life. I'm used to walking in my woods where you walk out and you're like, you're cut by everything. So yeah,
just have excellent volunteers.
People could take some lessons from the outlet trail, because I'm telling you, anytime I've ever been down there, everything is maintained. At least it feels like, I don't know how many feet back, but distance.
You can drive a truck down it
the whole way. Really? I haven't been down the one part in a long time, but I'm always down the backside.
There's like a couple bottlenecks and like little bridges and stuff that you can't fit a truck over, but where it's just trail, you could drive a truck down it.
Really? How good is that? Are people allowed to swim down there?
No.
Okay. No. I didn't know if they were allowed to.
That's been a topic of conversation for years, because the it's interesting. Hi, Steve. It's interesting to me how waterways get classified.
Yeah.
So do you know about this, that waters have like classes?
No.
From the DEC?
No.
So like don't swim there. I'll tell you why. Okay. So
I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why in a second. But don't go in there. It's gross.
When we were kids, we used to.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So the like Seneca Lake is class A.
Okay.
Right. So that's like the highest rating. Clean water, can be used after like some, I don't know if you have to treat it or what you have to do to make it so that you can use it as drinking water, but essentially it's like classed as water that can be used as drinking water.
Okay.
That's where Penny Ann gets its drinking water, is Seneca Lake. Seneca Lake, class A, except for one small area, which is the area within 1 mile of the Seneca outlet.
Okay.
The reason, and I'll break down what these classes mean. So class A, drinking. Class B, swimming.
Okay.
So within 1 mile of the Seneca outlet, class B, can swim in it.
Oh, okay.
It's okay if it like gets in your eyes, but shouldn't drink it. Seneca outlet, class C. Class C, no drinking, no swimming. Fishing and water sports are okay. So you can take kayaks, boats, you can wade in it, you can fish in it, you can eat fish that's in it. It's okay to eat the fish because you're going to cook the fish.
Okay.
So that's okay. But you shouldn't swim in it. How did they get these classes? Well, about 50 years ago, New York State decided that they should have this class system when they were kind of like starting to clean up the environment a bit. And so it was based on what the uses were at the time and whether they were actually suitable for that. And so the Seneca outlet has a few things that made it class C. One is that nobody was swimming in it and nobody was drinking it. Like, and when I say nobody, I mean not very many people. The main use of that waterway up until that time was industrial.
Oh boy. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was all mills and factories, stuff like that. And that was pretty much what happened there, was just mills and factories that water was being used for power.
Yeah.
And cooling and whatever, we still have some use for that today. As we speak, the water that you flush down the toilet in this building, it's getting treated, it's getting cleaned. But at the end of the day, it ends up in the outlet.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I can show you right where it comes in.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh God, dude, that's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, well, what do you think? I mean, and it's interesting to me, most towns that are near a river, which is most towns, use the river for where their effluent goes after it goes through the wastewater treatment plant.
Really?
Yep.
Steve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, no, I can show you. If you walk down just east of Fox's Mill and you look across the outlet, you have to look through some trees, but you look across the outlet and there's this big concrete kind of like little sluice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's water coming from the wastewater treatment plant.
Holy shit. Dude, no one knows about this. Not many people know, right?
Only people that like pay attention.
Well, I guess that's why I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I mean, well, people that pay attention to those things, you know.
Right.
There were a lot of there was a lot of hubbub about it a few years ago, and continues to be some hubbub about it.
Really? Okay.
Because they want to the water, because it's class C. So here's another thing about the classes, right? So if it was class B or higher, it would have to be treated. It'd have to be sanitized year round.
Right.
Well, because it's class C, it only has to be sanitized 6 months. So in the wintertime, it doesn't have to go through the same process. The Village of Penn Yan is currently working on a plan, and if anybody wants to send more details, feel free. Or you can, I'll let people go look into this. Don't just take what I'm saying as gospel, but essentially they're working on a plan to use UV light to treat the water as it's leaving the wastewater treatment plant.
That's about as good as it gets.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
I still think that they're only planning on doing it 6 months.
Okay.
But that would be an upgrade to what we're doing now, which I think is pretty good. Yeah,
but it's still like you're saying. I mean,
if it
comes out of somebody's toilet bowl,
maybe it's forever unclean, but I think they're doing a pretty good job up there, better than a lot of people give them credit for. But yeah, when it's only getting treated 6 months, or only has to be treated 6 months, it's like kind of, yeah. Anyway,
the amount of times my dog has drank out of that. Oh yeah, poor dog. So sorry, bro.
That's what Class C means, and like I said, they're working on things to make it better. The other thing that happens from time to time that I'll share here, because I want people to know about, no matter where you live, whether you live in Penn Yan or someplace else, is, you grew up in the country, so you had a septic, right? So you knew there were certain things you shouldn't put in the drain, right?
Oh yeah, my dad made that very apparent.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. So what, like, do you remember any of the things?
A Q-tip. He was pissed. He was so pissed over a Q-tip, and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You're gonna clog the goddamn septic. I'm gonna have to dig it up. It's gonna cost me $1,000." So yeah, that's one of the things. And then like tampons and stuff like that,
Yeah. So that's like common things that people with a septic know.
Right.
People who don't have a septic, who are on the sewer, should be following those same things.
Right.
Like, maybe it's not as big of a deal. Like, you're, in septics, like, you can't use bleach because it might kill the bacteria that like process the poo.
Okay.
In the village where you have a sewer, that's probably okay because it's going to be so diluted with, they treat like 1 million gallons of water per day.
Wow.
1 million.
I didn't know
at the wastewater treatment plant. But still, if you stick a Q-tip down the toilet, could get clogged up. It could get clogged up on your property, or could happen what happened in August when we got all that rain. And some of the sewer in Penn Yan is so old that they don't even know where it is.
Really?
It's so
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
It's over 100 years old. They don't know where all of it is. And it's not all like watertight.
I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. So when there's a big rain event, water gets into it. And a day where maybe instead of 1 million gallons, when they get a big rain, they might get 5 million gallons.
Shit. Wow.
And what happened last August was a whole bunch of water came rushing through the system, and it picked up all the stuff that people flush down their toilets that probably shouldn't, which is flushable wipes are not flushable, even though they say they're flushable. Baby wipes, Q-tips, condoms, tampons, all that stuff. And what happened was there's a spot down by the outlet near Burkett Mill.
Okay.
Where it got plugged up, and all the water that was coming in, it got plugged up because it was carrying those rags and tampons and whatever else, and it plugged the system so it couldn't get to the wastewater treatment plant, and it overflowed through that manhole into the outlet.
What the hell?
All this like toilet water and rainwater and everything went into the outlet. And so anyway, I'm taking this opportunity to tell you that so that you can make sure that you don't flush that stuff down the toilet, so that you don't end up having it plug up and overflow.
Yeah. Yes, that's not fun trying to find a sewer line. I'm sure it took you, a long time.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So the sewer line was 20 feet from where they thought it was.
That's not even close.
That's a lot of digging.
That's not even close, man.
That's a lot of digging.
My dad said he can find water lines. I don't know about sewer lines. It's called witching. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. They take the
He's supposedly done it. He tried to show me one time, it didn't work, but he was telling me about it. So
oh yeah, I can do it.
Yeah. Okay, Dad. But that's 20 feet. I do got to get going, but I want to talk about one thing.
Oh yeah.
So 54, they're trying to, at some point they're going to put water and sewer down that, I imagine. Milo already has it.
Yeah.
Barrington's next, all those others. But like that 20 feet off. So when these guys are digging this drain, imagine how many, or not the drain, digging the hole for the pipe. How many water pipes are they going to destroy?
Yeah. Yeah, because you think that it's not there.
Right.
But you're 20 feet off and it is.
I'm telling you, people are going to, a lot of things are going to get destroyed. And how many people have snuck? I mean, think about the 70s and 80s. Like, I'll just put a water line in. No one will ever know it's there. Yeah. It's going to be a nightmare, man.
For sure.
And so every time I have someone push under the road, I make them put a tracer wire. I don't know if you know what that is.
So you can find it with the metal detector.
It's just so easy, And it's like, thank God we got these things now, tracer wires and stuff like that. But back in the day, people just used to stick pipes. I don't know how many times I worked with my dad. And I'm like, hey, Dad, something's spraying down there. Like, when he's on the equipment, what the hell did I hit? Old gas lines, water lines, stuff like that. And he's like, okay, but this gas line doesn't even hook to the house. And I go, what's it doing? They just buried it, unhooked it from the house, and left a live gas.
Just left it there.
Yeah, this was a long time. It was like 10 years ago. But yeah, crazy. Some of the things you find when people did. And the amount of stuff that was buried and disconnected from the house. Because I don't know if a new one was built or what happened, but they just leave that shit in the ground. Crazy. So, fun. Hey, all right. Well, I got to go spend Mother's Day with my mother. So,
hi, Mom.
She's even my real mother. She hates when I say that. That's why I say it.
She's my real mother. God damn it! I saw
it. You know what pisses me off?
You know what pisses me off? Ungrateful. Bye, everybody.
See you later, guys.
Have a great. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
We haven't done this a couple times.
Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. Come fill your time. This pot's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail. Upstate New York, every episode of tell. Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. It's rare.